Okay, we are live. Hi, everyone. You know me, I'm Nancy Ganzakoffer. I manage this group, and I'm so excited today to have with us Reisa Elden. I always have to look to make sure I'm not giving you the wrong last name because I know another Reisa. So, Reisa is the head of partnerships for Ivy. Ivy is a designer software, project management software that some of my clients use and love. So I wanted to have her on today to explain a little bit of how, if you're not using a project management system, how Ivy might be the right fit for you. So, Reisa, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Nancy, and thank you everyone for having me today. Super excited to be here and share a little bit more about Ivy with you.
Yes. So as you know, as a business coach, I'm one of those, you know what, you use whatever system makes sense for your brain, right? Whatever works with your brain. And some of my clients do use Ivy and they love it. So I wanted to have you go over some of the features. Well, let's talk about first the benefits of using a project management system.
Yes, one of my favorite topics to talk about. And I definitely think just the idea of you're an interior designer, you're running your business, there's so many different moving pieces. And why you got into this business, I presume, is because you love to design. And I feel like there's so many different projects and elements and sourcing. It's not like you go to work every day and you sit on a computer and you do the same thing. Your clients demand a lot out of you, and we want to help you be the best version of yourself and the most organized, and make sure that your team is super organized as well. And sometimes if you're just starting out in your one woman show, I like to acknowledge, and a lot of designers have told me that, you know, Ivy has become their virtual assistant if designers can't in the beginning afford to pay somebody full time. So for me, my background, I have a lot of different jobs that I've held, but I always could run a profitable business, whether I was working as a buyer at One Kings Lane or at Piper Lang, part of Gap back in the day. Went in to manage an interior design firm, and I am not a designer. I'm more of a logistical person. And for me, I couldn't figure out why we were working between 3 or 4 different systems. We had one system for a time tracker. We had our accounting system, QuickBooks. We had a clipping tool and 10 other different softwares. It just seemed very inefficient. The idea of having a project management tool, and one that works for you, exactly. You have to find a tool that works the way that your brain works, that's intuitive, that's easy. And again, there might be other complex softwares and your brain might be able to think like that. For me, the software that works for me is Ivy. And I say that because I've seen a lot of different softwares out there, and I think it's really important that you find something that works for you. And centralizes kind of all of those moving parts that I was talking about and puts everything in one place so that your day-to-day is a little bit easier, and that you're spending, instead of 80% of your time on admin and 20% design, we want to flip that for you. We want you to be doing 80% of your time spending designing and 20% or even less than that on your administrative piece of your business.
Yes, and one of the things you said really rings a bell. So I work with clients every day on the systems within their company. And even myself as a business owner, one time I was ready to buy another software and I was like, wait, let me see if anything I own actually does this before I spend more money. And even working with a client the other day who is using Ivy, she was saying, I'm having trouble tracking my time. I'm like, wait, don't you use Ivy? Yeah. Did you download the mobile app part of Ivy? Well, no. I'm like, they have a time tracker. So now you're tracking it manually and then going home at the end of the night and putting it into Ivy, because she did know it had a time tracker. But why aren't you using the mobile app where you can actually do it on the run and not have that to-do thing at the end of the day?
Yeah. And that's because that's time that's taking her an hour of time that she's not getting paid to track her time, which it's my favorite topic is talking about time, because if you get into the system of tracking time, your life will become so much easier. And again, I'm sure you speak about this with your clients. It's about valuing your time. When your day is over and you're done with clients, if you're a mother or a father, you have a family, even if you don't have a family, I don't want to spend that time not getting paid, right? And every designer tracks their time differently, and they might fill out hourly or might not. Regardless, it's still important to understand where your time is going so that you can make sure you're as profitable as possible.
Definitely. So I don't want to waste any time, and I want to make sure we show your system. So we have, let me bring it up to the broadcast.
Fabulous.
Okay, so I hope you guys can see this. It's the back. What is this? This is a demo of.
Yeah. It's a demo account that you're in.
Okay, so I'm in a demo account, and Reisa's going to kind of walk me through some stuff and show me some key points that Ivy can bring to your design firm if you're currently, not happy with the system you're using, or if you're still manual, it's time to get automated. So, okay, Reisa.
I do love a good Excel spreadsheet, don't get me wrong, but automate the process for you. And like I said before, for me, I believe that Ivy is really intuitive, easy to learn, easy to use, and then you get a dedicated account manager. So if you do have questions, we are real people behind the scenes. We want to help you take your business to that next level. We want to help you make as much money as possible. So like Nancy said, the first things first, you got to make sure you're tracking your time. Super easy. In the top right-hand corner, there's the little green time tracker. So you can do this from your computer. We have a mobile app. You can download it from your phone. We are already logging our time. It looks like we forgot to stop our tracker. Super easy. So if you just hit the stop button, and you go into log time, you can edit it. I see designers doing exactly what we just did. You can easily edit your time. If you leave your time tracker on, it's fine. I personally would rather you track the time than not track any time at all.
Right.
But super easy to select the project you're working on, log the time, do it from your computer, do it from your mobile desktop.
Oh, I like this too.
Yeah.
That you can drop it down and say, this was design time, this is my travel time, this was admin. And I want to point out also that, which you might have been doing anyway next, is that you're clicking off whether it's taxable in your state service, if it's design time, and whether you're billing it to the client, or whether you just want to track that you're working on your own bookkeeping, right?
Yep, exactly. So pretty easy. And then from here, once you have all of your time tracked, you can just easily generate a time billing invoice. So this is another complaint I hear from designers, like, oh, I've tracked all this time, I've written it down, and then I have to put it into an Excel spreadsheet, or even if you're using QuickBooks, Ivy's a little bit more intuitive because it's built for designers. So we know the specific way that you run your business. So easy to create your invoice. You can send it out to your client. You can ask for online payment. If you get paid online, great. Then the money just goes straight into your bank account. It takes the whole headache out of the billing process, the awkward conversations with your clients, and all of that jazz. So
you can literally, you can bill them through Ivy, and Ivy is connected to your bank account. So when the money comes in through your payment processing, so credit card, does it have ACH?
Credit card, ACH, there's a 3% processing fee for credit card, 1.2% for ACH. However you want to bill that out. If you want to absorb it, you want to bill it to your client, whatever. There's a lot of different rules and regulations in your state. So definitely double check with your accountant and the rules of how you're going to offset that cost. But the idea is the money goes into your bank account 1 to 2 business days. If you want to take a check, you can still do that too. It's really flexible. It's a flexible system.
Okay. All right. So let's also show, because we can't show it all in this little highlight we're doing here, but I wanted to hit on a couple of the bigger things. So let's show them. Well, first of all, we're on the financial page. So if you have a project budget, I call it an investment level to my clients, because budget makes people want to sit on their wallets. But you're allowed to spend $100,000. That's what you've talked to the client about. You can see how much you've invoiced, and you can see the total proposal you have. Wow. Okay, they're a little over budget, don't you think?
That's why it's a demo account.
That's why it's a demo account. Okay, where do we want to go next?
So what I think is great is that if you go into the proposal tab, I think it's that 5th tab in there, you will be able, and we won't show this right now, I'm just going to tell you, but if you're sourcing on your vendor's website and you find a bunch of products that you like, Ivy has a product clipper. It's an extension that nests on your browser, and it allows you to clip the product directly from your vendor's website. Super easy, super quick. And I don't know about you, but when I was putting together proposals, I had a lot of screenshots all across my desktop. Super messy, super not efficient. If you click that blue button in the top right-hand corner that says create new proposal,
Oops, I went to the wrong spot because
we can show this. Anyways, once you click the product, it actually goes into your product library. I actually love this screen because I like the idea that you're building out your own product library. I usually don't recommend that clients use other sourcing tools if it's going to pop another image up where your clients can be confused. Different tools that this is why I like this, because you're showing your client exactly the items that you want them to select. And when you drop the items into the proposal, you can say, here's your sofa option A, here's your sofa option B. They can automatically accept or decline the item, and then it will update the cost of their total proposal. Before you send out the proposal, also, it will show you what your markup or purchase fee is, what you're making on the products that you're sending out. So sometimes there could be human error. There's just little things in Ivy that make you look at it twice before you send it out to avoid any sort of those errors. And then when you're exactly creating this product page, you can also generate your own custom specification sheets. So I went into this firm's office one time and I saw them using Ivy. But I also saw them making their own custom specification sheets, which take a lot of time. And I haven't trained you on how to do this yet, Nancy, but I can show people afterwards, or they can email me and I can show them an example. But it's really easy. You've created your proposal and you can actually just generate your own spec book. And that saves you time. And
so you can print your own, or it could be digital, or it could be.
If you want to go green and save paper, exactly, you can go digital and show your presentation on your iPad. But Ivy actually creates this custom spec book for you so that you don't have to take the time to do a separate presentation. You can also use Ivy to create your room boards for the inception part of the phase. Some people go straight to proposal. Some people like a room board where you're just ideating with your client and kind of showing them the ideas. And that's what I like about this system, is that it's really flexible. And let's say you spent all of the time sourcing the products for your clients, but they said no to everything. If you source the item, it's still a great item and it might be relevant on another product or project, excuse me. So it actually saves the item into your product library so you can reuse the item again.
Okay, so we have the time tracking we went over.
Yep.
Now talk to me about the accounting management, right? Does this integrate with online QuickBooks, desktop QuickBooks? How hard is that?
Yes, great question. So if you scroll up a little bit, there's a tab here that's called purchase orders. And I highly advise every single designer to use purchase orders so you understand your client expenses. And what's great about this is that if you are integrating your Ivy account we do integrate with QuickBooks Online. And I recommend the Plus version, which will allow your POs to sync over. And we do have a dedicated partnership with QuickBooks Online. So if you want to save a little bit of money, I like saving money, and you have an Ivy account, you can get a special pricing. I think it's 30% off monthly off your QuickBooks Online account. Saves quite a bit of money.
Okay, so when you order something from Covington for a specific client, you're able to then tie that purchase order to that account. Your clients cannot see this part. This is your part.
Exactly. Okay. This is your part for your accounting back-end purposes. So Ivy is a project management place that you can work on the front end and you can send out proposals and invoices to your clients. But on the back end, what happens is that Ivy syncs with QuickBooks Online. So this is really helpful for your bookkeeper, your accountant, so they can be in their favorite place, because we know every accountant knows how to use QuickBooks, and you can be where you need to be on the front end. I've seen, and even my firm that I worked at, people going into QuickBooks and categorizing things and putting it into the wrong chart of accounts. So accountants, especially ones that we work with, are really happy that designers are in their space and they have their own space to work. So it's a one-way integration from Ivy to QuickBooks Online. The purchase orders will sync over. Obviously, the benefit of using something like QuickBooks is that that's where all of your banking transactions are pulled in.
Right.
You can use Ivy as a standalone system, but if you want a really detailed profit and loss report, I do recommend integrating the two.
Okay, and that's why I wanted to go to the report section, because I think it's really important for designers to understand their business side and not just, I love to design and I don't want to deal with anything else, which of course, we all have our favorite things to do. But as I said to one of my clients yesterday, I'm sorry you don't like to track your time. Too bad. It's part of your business. It's like, that's the part you don't like, but you have to, because we're trying to get closer to if you're profitable and how profitable are you, and how many, if you're stressed and you're not tracking your time, how do you know where to improve, right?
If you're not going to look at your numbers, there's no point in running your business.
Right. We all don't want to look at our numbers, but our numbers is really what tells us whether we are profitable and running a hobby or running a business. So I wanted to go to the report section so you can show us too. You can go.
Yeah, so what's great about Ivy is that you can pull reports for transactions, project payments, time billing. You can pull simple reports and they just generate, you can pick the time frame, they generate into an Excel spreadsheet, or actually I think it might be emailed to you now, which is super handy. And you can select the project that you want to pull for, or exactly your time billing. If you want to look at your weekly reports and see, am I billing out enough time? Is my assistant billing out enough time? Is that billable to the client? So great, easy way to pull reports. Super, as you can see on the screen, super easy to generate that report.
And look at all the options they can choose to run their report. You don't have to download all these fields. You can just choose whichever field you're looking for. And you know what, it may seem overwhelming to people who aren't using a project management system right now, but I will tell you, once you learn what you want to see every month or every day or once a year, which is not enough, you'll fine tune this, but it's great to have the options. And that's why I wanted to show that the sky is the limit kind of when it runs these kind of reports.
Yeah, 100%, Nancy, and I totally agree with you. I think that there's key things in running a business, and if you can get started off on the right foot, or even if you've been in business for 6 months and you're like, oh no, I'm going down the rabbit hole, it's so awesome for you to be able to have a resource like Nancy. We love working with Nancy too, because Nancy, you really help guide people and teach them. I think it's also about confidence and understanding that the numbers aren't scary, and understanding that, yes, I do love a good Excel spreadsheet, but why not automate your processes? And that's what I really think that Ivy does. It helps automate all of these day-to-day processes for you and makes you become more efficient so that you can scale and grow your team and make more money.
Absolutely. Perfectly said. So, Reisa, tell people how they can get in touch with you or how they can get a demo. We did provide a link in the description, but you're welcome to go in the comments and post it again underneath this broadcast. But tell everyone what they get when they click that link.
Great. Yeah. So you'll get a one-on-one consultation with a member of our Ivy team so that we can kind of go through your business, understand what your pain points are, what you're struggling with, what systems you're using, and kind of advise you on what will be best for you. And then once you do decide to try Ivy out, and we are going to be offering special pricing to your members, Nancy, as well. So yes, and we will provide the link so that you can sign up for that as well. You do get to try Ivy out. And if it doesn't work after 30 days, you can, of course, get your money back. We don't want to hold you into anything. We want you to be able to feel confident to try something new. I know that it's really daunting and scary and overwhelming. And then the other thing is, if you are going to be at High Point Market, we will be there. I'll be actually even in New York at the New York Design Center next, 2 weeks for the Future of Home conference and for another conference. So if you want to meet me in person, I'm happy to meet you in real life. We love meeting our design firms. We are real people behind the scenes, and please come meet us at High Point. And we're really excited to be able to help you take your business to the next level.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Reisa. And everyone who's listening on replay or live now, if you're not using a system that you love, give Ivy a shot, right? Do a demo with them. Meet Reisa. Go to somewhere where she is so that you can look at it and play with it live. I think that's really the only way. With any system, if you know if it's going to be intuitive to you and the way your brain works, you gotta try it, right? You gotta try it. How long would you say it takes for someone from when they purchase to when they feel really comfortable with it?
Yeah, that's a great question. And again, like this goes all across the board, because I have somebody that was using the American version in Australia for 2.5 years and never once asked us a question. She taught herself how to use the software. And some people are really self-starters and they can get right in and dive right in. That's really how we built the software. And we're constantly adding features based upon user feedback. And we want to customize the software for you. But I would say get right in. You can play around. You then even get an activation call. So once you sign up, you get a real person that shows you and can answer questions for you. But I would say most people a week, a couple weeks, and they're ready to go, ready to roll.
Nice. Love it. Okay. Thank you for being here, Reisa.
Thank you for having me, Nancy. Hope to see you all soon.
All right. See you guys soon. Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye.